Okay, so episode 9 of season 2 is
Trigger
called Trigger
finger.
Finger. So, so in the previous episode, then those guys were in the bar and Rick kills them, and so then now their friends are outside and they're looking for them, and they're like, hey, where are they? And they're like, oh, blah, blah, and they're like, where are they? And they're like going from like store to store,
Like, do you think
and then,
anyone's in
yeah,
there?
and so then they're like, but then they're gonna leave, essentially, but then Rick is like, hey guys, we're in here. And he's like trying to explain how they killed
Yeah. It's like, they drew
Dave and
on
Troy.
us.
Yeah, but
They
it's
drew on
stupid because there's
us.
no reason to do that. He's just
Yeah.
being dumb.
If he had a. If. I mean, like, Herschel and Glenn are with him and they're both staying quiet. And if he had
Mm-hmm.
have just stayed quiet, they would have left. And that would have been the end of that.
Yeah.
He's just dumb. He's dumb
Mm-hmm.
for doing it. Like, I think
Yeah.
he's trying to be honorable and, like, tell the friends, like, what happened. But it just puts all of them in danger. Um, so Lori, she was trying to find Rick, and
Mm-hmm.
in the previous episode, she like looked down at the map, and when she looked up, there was a walker in the road, and she hit the walker, and like the car flipped, and um, so like she's on the side of the road, trapped in the car, and she wakes up, and there's a walker trying to get into the car who's like cutting his face on the glass, and he's getting closer and closer, and I don't even remember what she grabs, but
Screwdriver.
oh, is it? Okay. She grabs the screwdriver and she like plunges it into the walker's face. And like blood goes everywhere. So in like other zombie zombie stories, like if you get their blood in you, that's bad. And I feel like I mean, that just makes sense. Like, if you get like a ton of walker blood on you, especially over years and years of this, like, especially in the later seasons, if you're constantly getting walker blood on you, that's got to have some sort of effect, right? If their bite kills you, I would imagine that their blood has some sort of effect, but it gets all over the car and all over Lori, and it doesn't seem to have any effect on her.
Yes. So now as they're trying to leave, that Rick and Herschel and Glenn, so they're gonna go. They're like Herschel shoots one of the group that's after them,
Mm-hmm.
and then like they're gonna like the rest of the group is gonna flee. One of them is up on a roof, and then like he's gonna try to get in his friend's pickup truck, but then they're like jump down off the roof, and so then he like jumps from one roof to the next, but then he like slides off and falls on this fence
Mm-hmm.
and impales himself on the fence. And so then the truck just drives away.
It's like, I gotta go.
Yeah, truck leaves him behind, and so then um, the protagonists go over to this guy as the one that Herschel shot is being eaten. Um, so then the guy who's impaled on the roof, who's Randall, or not the roof, the fence, is Randall. And so then, like, of course they don't just leave him behind because that would make too much sense. They have to, like, try to save him. But he's stuck and they can't get his leg off. And so then they're talking about they're going to have to, like, remove his leg. But I think they managed to get him off without
Mm-hmm.
removing the leg
Yeah,
somehow.
I
I
think
mean,
they're like running out of time, so they just like push it off.
yeah, which I mean, and then like later he's able to move around fine. So I
Yeah,
guess like they were just like
it was just
they would have just cut
lucky.
off his leg for no reason
You're
basically.
right.
I mean, so they get him and I mean, like why it doesn't make any sense to try to save this guy. I mean,
No, he's not one of them. He's with the group that was trying to kill them.
yeah. I mean, no, yeah, it's just silly. Like they're just like Rick's like, "Oh, we can't leave him behind." It's like, "Yeah, you can. I mean, you're not like obligated to save everybody you see."
Right, and like in the bar with the other two guys, he was like, "Oh, we don't have room at our farm. Like,
Mhm.
we can't take in anyone else." But then he's taking in this guy, Randall.
Yeah. So then they get back to the farm with their prisoner, and then like when they're getting out, like Maggie runs up and Herschel's like, "Oh," she's like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And Herschel thinks that she's going for him, but then she runs past him to go hug Glenn.
And it makes Herschel
Yeah,
really
he gets
mad.
mad. And then he's like, "Patricia, you goddamn bitch, get the barn ready for surgery," you know. He's like, "You stupid." Yeah.
He gets really mad.
Yeah,
and just,
he
like,
gets really
he,
mad
like,
and
stalks
takes it out on
off. Like,
Patricia. Yeah. And so then at one point, yeah, I mean, he treats Patricia badly. Like, he's kind of a dick to her. So like at one point, like Beth is in the kitchen making some food and then just like collapses on the floor.
It's like really kind of odd.
Yeah.
Just like totally random.
And so then she's like been in bed. Like, I mean, they say she's in shock. She's like, and I mean, I don't really buy that because she's like basically like acting like she's comatose.
Yeah.
She's just like lying perfectly still with her eyes open, and like we never see her blink or move
she's just,
or
like,
anything.
staring
Like
at the
that's
ceiling.
that goes a bit beyond just being in shock.
Right.
Like she should be like just sort of like in a fetal position or something, just kind of like, but like not like totally without movement or activity of any kind.
Like,
and
even blinking.
Yeah, like she's not blinking. And I mean, if she's not blinking, they should close her eyes.
Yes.
Like, it's not, it just doesn't, it just seems a bit like a TV kind of thing where she's like, they're like, and so they're like taking care of her and she's just like totally non-responsive. And it's just a bit like, okay, I don't know about
it came
that.
Out of nowhere, because Beth has not been an important character up till this point.
And now she's like a big part of the story. Yeah, for like this and the next episode, she's like half of the plot.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not. Yeah, I'd say she's like the main thing going on at the farm. And it's like somebody always has to be injured at the farm.
Yes.
Like this entire time, like somebody's been like Carl, and then Daryl's briefly injured, and now they've got Randall who's injured, and they've got Beth, and it's just like, it's like somebody's always like, that seems to be like all they can come up with for like a plot happening at the farm, because there's not really like any danger,
I
like
think
so it's like
that's part of the reason they have to like stay at the farm is because someone's always hurt.
Yeah, that's true. It also gives them an excuse to stay there. Yeah. And let's see. Yeah, and so then like after like Herschel, I guess, deals with Randall, then he's like Shane's like saying like, "Oh, this is ridiculous. Like, you shouldn't have brought this guy back." Like, which is true. And so then
once again, Shane is right.
So then Herschel is like yelling at Shane for doing the barn, for like opening the barn. And I mean, I just, okay. At one point Herschel is like, "Rick convinced me to let you guys stay," and I'm just not sure. If the barn had never been opened, I mean, I know Rick was like trying to convince him,
but there was never
I don't feel like Herschel relented. Yeah, I don't feel like he really like, and I mean, maybe I just feel like he's kind of saying that now, like, I'm not sure I buy that. I feel like he's making a rationalization after the fact. Like, oh, well, So, I don't know about that, but he's like, basically, like, "Stay away from us, Shane." And then Andrea, like, goes after him, and she's like, "So you're making the right decisions, but you need to present it in a better way, because you're just, like, making everybody mad the way you're, like, going about it." And that's true. Yeah. So, really, the two of them should just work together more.
I think, isn't it Dale who's, like, bad-mouthing Shane? And Andrea was like, he keeps like,
he's done more
to
Rick,
protect us. He's done more than anyone. He's done more than Rick. And I think it's
agree.
Dale. Yes, I think. Dale, and he's like, like, he's like so shocked that Andrea's defending him, but she's right. He has.
Yeah, no, Dale just can't let go of his hate boner for Shane.
Yeah.
He's blinded by his hate boner.
So when Lori was out trying to find Rick and the others and got in the car accident, Shane was the one who realized that she was like not there.
Oh, right. They're all like gonna eat, and then it's like,
Yeah,
oh wait, nobody
yeah.
knows where Lori
like, where's
is.
Lori? It's like, oh well,
Yeah.
she asked me to like watch over Carl, and then
It's like, I guess I didn't notice that she never
right,
came
right,
back.
and then Daryl was like, well, she asked me to go find him, but I'm not their errand boy anymore.
Yeah, I told her to sit on it and swivel.
So Shane goes after her and he finds her. And, like, he gets her out of the car and makes... Or I guess she got herself out of the car. But, like, make sure that she's okay. And then he's like, let's go back to camp. And she's like, no, we have to find Rick. And so Shane lies and says, oh, they're all back at the farm.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just go back. And so he takes her back. He's trying to protect her. She's pregnant with probably his baby.
Yeah.
We know that he's in love with her. That, like... I mean, we know that he wants to kill Rick. He wants Rick's life, essentially.
Right. He wants to, like, wear his face.
Right.
And,
but he's also,
literally
like...
and figuratively.
I think that he's also just trying to protect Lori in this and, like, make sure the
Mm-hmm.
baby's okay and takes her back. And she finds out that Rick isn't there and she gets pissed at Shane.
Yeah.
And so when she does see Rick, she just becomes, like, manipulative as hell and is like, Shane's a danger.
Mm-hmm.
We're not safe with him.
Basically,
you need to
have
get
to
rid
kill
of
him.
Shane.
Yeah,
She's just like trying to like seduce her husband while saying like you have to kill him.
It is pretty creepy.
It's just it's super manipulative, and I mean, like in the beginning he was talking about how like Lori was never satisfied and like they were fighting all the time, and it kind of seems like this is coming out where like she's always got to be like asking Rick for more and more and more and being really manipulative of him.
Yeah, she does seem like she's like like she just has to like be like stirring stuff up all the time.
All the time.
Yeah, with everybody, but
Yes.
especially with Rick and Shane.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess that's one of the things I think Andrea says that, where she's like, what was a list, like, one of the things that, like, was the right decision, but, like, went about it the wrong way. I think she says that to Shane.
What?
Lying to Lori
bringing
about,
Lori
like,
back. Yes,
yeah,
that is one of the things. You're right.
I just didn't remember that was, like, before.
Yeah.
After. But,
yeah, you're right.
And so then, let's see, like, Carl finds out because Shane's like, you're pregnant, and then it's like everyone's
like, we gotta check on the baby.
Yeah,
and it's like, well, no one knew that. Thanks, Shane. Like,
and he's like,
knows
oops,
now.
I didn't do that on purpose.
I know. And then,
wink.
Well, they're waiting for Rick to come back. They basically are like, Carl hasn't had the talk. And Dale's like, that's not my job. That's your old man's job.
Yeah, and it's like, geez, I don't think anyone wants the sex talk from you, Dale. Jeez, that's gonna be disturbing. He's like, well, back in my day,
like, let me show you on Andrea.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Probably. Yeah. He's like, I'll give you the full illustration right here and now, Carl.
There will be no ambiguity at all.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No, yeah, it's like nobody wants that talk from... And, like, how old is Carl supposed to be here?
I think he's supposed to be, like, 10 or 11.
Okay, I mean, I feel like you should probably have the sex talk before that, but, I mean, or, around then, I guess?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Yeah. And it's like, so do they give him the sex talk? Because, like, I don't think they ever address... I mean, not that that's, like, the most important thing... like, in the plot or anything, but I just don't know if they ever actually do. I mean, I guess at some point he's got to figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, do you think he had sex with Enid before, he died?
I mean, I kind of hope so.
Probably. I mean, he must have, yeah. Well, anyway, yeah.
We're getting ahead of ourselves there.
I guess so.
Okay, so, episode 10. I don't think we ever said this. So, back a couple episodes when they found out Sophia was a walker.
Mm-hmm.
I think the reason that, like, maybe they made that alternate ending and then decided not to use it, or, like, not alternate ending, but, like, where she was, like, human or whatever, and the reason it was such a big shock is because of like people who had read the comics, it deviated so dramatically.
Yeah.
Because in the comics, like Sophia and
Carl?
thank you, Carl are supposed to basically like end up together, and they grow up together in this world and start their own world. So it was just like, whoa, season 2, halfway through season 2, we're completely changing what happens. And I think
Yeah.
it threw a lot of people. Similar, I mean, not similar, I guess, but like it had a lot of fan reaction, like when Andrea accidentally shot Daryl in the head.
Oh, that.
Like
yeah.
that actress got death threats for shooting
Yeah.
Daryl, and like
Supposedly people, yeah.
yeah, people have had some very, very strong reactions so far already.
Yeah. So episode 10 is called 18 Miles Out because like Rick's like, let's take Randall, and I mean, who's apparently like fine to just be left out like
Yeah.
in the road now. You know, like we'll take him 18 miles away from the farm and then ditch him and come back. Yeah.
And so they like put headphones in his ears and they're playing music.
Blindfold him.
They blindfold him, and they even put like duct tape on his ears to like make sure the headphones don't fall out, and they put him in the trunk. So it opens with Shane and Rick. They pull over on the side of the road and they're talking and they're arguing.
Yeah.
And it's just like I just noticed that them talking here is so much more like formulaic compared to the very, very first episode where it opens, where they're just like eating burgers and just like chit chatting as buds. And I do understand like it's a totally different setting, but like I don't know, I just go back to like that first season, like was written the best, like had the best direction, had the best cinematography, that like it's just it feels so much more.
Yeah.
It's not natural. Yeah,
Yeah.
it felt so much more natural in the first one. Like I felt like I was just watching two people talk, not two actors trying to portray their characters talking.
Yeah, in this episode in the beginning when they're speaking, it's like yeah, like Rick is, I mean, Shane's not really saying that much. Rick's doing most of the talking, but like he's like, oh, you know, I wanted to punch you in the mouth and make you choke on your teeth when I found out. Like, or, I mean, yeah, like, I don't know when he was supposed to have found out. I mean, like, just immediately, basically. Like, when he came back and found Lori and Carl. Like, that she was having sex with Shane.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so he was like, when I first found out, I wanted to punch your teeth in, and, you know, and it wasn't weakness to hold back on that, you know, and it's just, yeah, he's just sort of like explaining like very directly how he's feeling, and it's just a bit like, okay, it's just not like, yeah, it's just like you should show how characters feel, not just tell the audience like
Right.
how they're feeling, and yeah, it's just like to kind of just to like get that out there and to just like kind of advance their story, like, but it's just kind of like functional, and it's not really that. Yeah, it doesn't really
super
feel like
entertaining.
human beings. Yeah,
No.
no, it's not. Yeah, like it would have been better. I don't know. They could have done something better. Yeah,
so
they could have
too.
like maybe not like exactly like that first one, like, but like. I just think that they should have spent more time on it. Yeah, because it's just like it's just to like establish what's going on and like where they are, and like this way Rick is like, I know you, I know about you, and Lori,
Yeah.
Shane, and I think it's at this point where he's like that's my wife, that's my son, that's my child, you know, to Shane, or no, is that
think
just at the
that's-
very end? I can't remember. No, it's okay. It doesn't really matter. Like
It
that
is
is
at
that
the
is
end.
at
It
the
is at
end.
the
Like I
end,
can't
yes.
remember if he said something similar to that,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think he's yeah. It's just a bit like, okay, let's just like tell everybody what's going on.
Yeah.
And like I'd like explain the plot, like that we joined inaction about how they're taking Randall out to like ditch him somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah. And like, because they like, I mean, then they like pull him out of the trunk and like look at him. But like, I don't think they really needed to, you know what I mean? Like, that was just to like show what's going on. Like,
that was totally just
like,
show the audience.
yeah. Like, I don't think there was like, I don't think they really needed to check on him. Like,
didn't.
you know, like I just, yeah. I think that was just kind of like, okay, so now the audience knows what's going on.
So they get to, it's like a school, right? A schoolyard?
Yeah, it's like the school vehicles. And,
like the bus barn, basically.
Yeah.
They get there, and so there's like a couple, like, that looks like security officer walkers walking around, and like they see Rick and Shane outside the fence, and they're like, oh, human. So they're like, one's like kind of lazily making his way over there. And Shane decides to cut his finger.
Oh, no, it's Rick.
Oh, it was Rick?
Yeah. Because, like, I
okay.
think, because Rick was like, I can't remember if it was it as they're driving up or, like, as they get to the fence? But he's like, we need to start using our knives, like, if, you know, rather than just using our guns all the time, which, like, yeah, I mean, it shouldn't have taken you guys that long to figure this out.
No, I mean, like, Morgan even said it, like, I'm pretty sure when they
well,
first
yeah, I
met
mean, just
about,
the noise
like,
thing. Yeah, just the noise thing. I mean,
oh, you're talking about ammo. Like,
oh, yeah, but I mean, but the
right.
noise concern also, like, I mean, yeah, they definitely know about that, you know, like, it's not like that's any kind of secret. Yeah, they all know about that, and so, like, I guess this is just to kind of, like, emphasize it.
Yeah.
You know, like, story-wise, and, yeah, so then they, like, get up to the fence, and one security guard walker is coming up to them, and so Rick, like, takes a pocket knife and, like, cuts his finger and, like,
smears the blood.
Slathers it all over the fence.
The chain link fence. And then the walker, like, starts, like, going a lot faster to get to the blood. And
it's like, whoa. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
like,
it smells blood. It. You know.
So shouldn't it have smelled it, like, smelled T-Dog's blood when he cut his arm open really bad on the highway? That, like...
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, they either have, like, a sense of smell for blood and flesh, or they don't. It doesn't make... Yeah, it makes no sense.
And forth.
And I mean, like, okay, like, T-Dog had a corpse on him, but that does not... explain.
It doesn't cover up the smell.
Yeah, and it's like there's already blood like elsewhere, like on the ground and on like the the car door he injured himself on. Like there's already blood elsewhere, and then like just having the corpse on him should not cover up the smell of his blood.
His wound on his arm was like gaping. Like
it
was gushing blood everywhere, not just like a cut on his finger smeared on a fence.
Oh yeah, no, that was just them not really thinking about it, I think, about how like, well, no, they should be able to smell fresh blood.
Yeah.
Like that just seems reasonable. Yeah. Oh yeah, but this one is like instantly attracted to it and just like
goes for it.
He like starts like sprinting over, sprinting as a walker, which yeah, and I mean also like if I were Rick, I wouldn't have like sliced my like the tip of my index finger. Yeah. Like that, like okay, you're gonna need that.
Yeah,
for
that's gonna touch everything and
yeah, it's and so then he stabs it with his knife. Let's see.
And they're able to get in, and then they kill the other one. They stab the other one.
And then they drag the bodies over to one spot.
Yeah,
I mean, and it's like
a grassy area.
Yeah, and it's like actually there's a fair number of things in this episode where it's like it doesn't really make that much because the purpose of like putting the bodies together was so then Shane can be like, there's no bites.
Right.
Like, I wonder how these guys got infected.
Right.
And Rick's like, oh, I guess they must have gotten scratched.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, of course, he knows that that's not the case, He knows that they just got resurrected because everybody's infected.
Right.
Yeah. But, like, okay, so this is something that we have a major problem with because... like, at least in the early couple seasons, they mention, and this is something, like, various forms of zombie fiction, like, I would say most of them feature like scratches as a potential way to be infected. Like that's not uncommon. It's not universal, but like
Right.
in many of them, scratches from a zombie, you know, like because they'll say, oh, like in the Living Dead movies, like Night of the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead, and you know those, they're like, I mean, it's the same thing as The Walking Dead, where like it doesn't matter how, like you don't have to be bitten or scratched to resurrect. Like it's just like this omnipresent infection. And so like as long as it's not a head wound, like it's the same thing. But they're like, but the logic there is that, like their mouths, the zombies' mouths, and like fingers are like
Yeah.
so filthy that they have some
Right,
kind of
right,
like
like
really
bacteria,
virulent.
like-
Yeah, they have something like that's basically like it's gonna kill you.
Yeah.
Like there's not, other than like amputating it before it can spread. Like there's nothing you can do. And like in those, like yeah, scratches are like pretty bad. Not as bad as a bite, but they're still really bad. And so it's like in the early couple of seasons of The Walking Dead,
They
mention
it.
scratches a lot.
Right, and they're
You
like,
know?
oh, like mate, like oh, don't get scratched, or
Mhm,
like
they're like, yeah, they, you know,
yeah, like don't get. Are you bit? Are you scratched?
it's like
But
they bring it up despite not like
There's
they never
never-
see someone get
Right,
infected
right.
from a scratch.
Everyone from
Yeah.
like their group that ends up dying like from a walker,
It's
it's
always a
bit.
bite, yeah.
There's never anything indicating that a scratch would do something like that.
Yeah. And yet they talk about it
They
a lot.
continuously.
Which like seems like it should kind of imply, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like, but really what I have an issue with is that like it's never ever addressed whether scratches do anything to a healthy
Ever.
human being or not.
Well-
It's just like we don't know
And-
because they never settle it one way or the other.
And even like later on in this episode, there's like 3 walkers that are piled up on Rick, and he's like trying
Yeah,
to like he is
he like shoots one and it fall like it's on him, and then
Right.
the next one and shoots that one, but then he like you know, it's like yeah, he can't like get the
Right.
next one, and so
Right.
but they're like clawing at
they're
him,
clawing
and yeah,
at him, and like
They
they
sh- you
should
would think
have
so, yeah.
scratched his arm.
even if they weren't intending to, they
Right,
should just be
right.
like grasping at him,
But
and
they're
they should
just-
just be like, you know, they should just be
Yeah,
scratching,
right.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah, it's a bit like that could have been an opportunity to like address it. Is like he gets scratched
And
and,
then
then
he's
they're worried
okay.
about it, but then it just you know,
Right.
then he's fine. Like you know, it
That would
doesn't
have been
turn
a great
out
way
to
to address it.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
So they get Randall into this like bus barn schoolyard area,
yeah. Oh
And-
no, go ahead.
and they pull him out of the car, and they're like walking away, and Randall's like begging
He's like,
them.
please,
He's like,
I just like I used to watch
Right,
football
right,
and
right. He's
screw
like,
around on the
I
internet.
wasn't with those guys,
Yeah.
like, but like he was calling them
He's
by
like,
name.
I
obviously.
just wanted like their protection.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And
He's
it's
like,
like,
I just lived
sure.
with my mom.
Yeah.
Like, and then he's like, I went to school with Maggie, and they're
Yeah.
like, oh,
They're like, "You
shit."
motherfucker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They're like, he fucking knows the Greens.
Yeah,
he knows where
uh-huh.
they live. Like this everything is screwed
Yeah,
up.
like we can't just like
we can't just leave
abandon
him
him now
because he'll
because
go back to the
he'll
yeah,
know
he
where they
knows,
live.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
So they're trying to figure out what to do, and Shane's like, we gotta kill him, and Rick's like, no, we have to figure out we have
Yeah.
to figure something else out. And they have like a pretty big fight.
Yeah, like Shane tries to shoot Randall, but Rick like knocks the gun
Mm-hmm.
off trajectory at the last minute, and then they start like beating the crap out of each other.
And of course, while
Yeah.
this is happening, no one's paying attention to Randall, and he's trying to free himself.
Yeah. Yeah, and like, oh no, I was just like, during this episode, like, Randall seems to be able to, like, move around
Yeah,
pretty
it
well.
doesn't
Like,
seem like a
like
spear went,
Jesus.
well, not a
yeah.
spear.
No, but it was, it was
was-
like a spear-shaped fence pole.
yeah,
Yeah.
that like went through
Uh-huh.
his leg. Doesn't seem like it at all.
Like, because I thought Herschel said something like the bone was, you know, like it did damage to the bone.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
yeah.
but he seems like
He
really
seems totally
able. Like he's
fine.
like slightly hobbled, but he's basically running around pretty like fine.
Yeah.
It just seems a bit like okay, geez, he must have like superhuman healing or something because he seems really like fast for someone who suffered that severe of a leg injury. Like Okay, Rick did say it was 2 weeks, but still, that's not very long.
No, not if it
Like
if
healing
the
a
bone.
major injury
Yeah.
like that? Yeah.
So when they're in the middle of their fight, Shane stands up and he like looks into some glass and he has some blood on his face and stuff like that, and he's doing like crazy Shane looks, and it's like 100% he looks like a walker.
Yeah. I think it's foreshadowing
I think
that.
so too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he sees himself, like he sees what he would look like as a walker,
Yeah.
and I think kind of freaks him out.
I think so. He hurls a wrench at Rick trying to kill him and breaks the window just before that.
Yep.
Because then it's like, then he's looking in the broken window and seeing that, and then walkers start spilling out. Which like, wow, that was like bad luck that they were just, just inside there, just waiting to come out.
Right.
Like, yeah, like apparently I don't know. I mean, I guess it's possible they didn't hear them fighting, like, or the gunshot. Because, like, if they heard it, they really should have been, like, looking through
Right.
Like, they should have been, if
Trying to
they
get
didn't
out.
break through, they should have just been, like looking out,
Yeah.
like, trying to,
Oh, yeah.
You kind of would think they would hear the gunshot, but yeah, so let's see.
So back at the farm,
Yeah.
Beth has decided that she wants to commit suicide.
Right. She's like no longer semi-comatose.
Yeah.
And they're like Lori brings her food.
Mm-hmm.
Was that before or after her and Andrea were? No, that was before.
Before, yeah. She took her like chicken, so she took
Yeah.
a knife, and then realizes that that Beth kept the knife
Yeah.
and goes back and it's like, give me the knife. And then later when she's talking to Andrea's like, you took away her choice, just like Daryl took away my gun. And she
Dale,
plays,
yeah.
oh,
No, that's okay. Those
Dale,
names
yeah.
are similar, yeah.
Dale took away my gun, and that
Uh-huh.
wasn't your choice, and she's gonna do what she wants to do, and you guys need to don't take away our
Yeah.
choices. And she just plays the freaking victim all the damn time. And
Ironically, she was like, when she was arguing with Dale in a previous episode, he was like, "Do you like Shane?" And she was like, "He's not a victim."
yes,
As like, when it's just
yes.
like, but no, she
But
kind of
she
likes
makes
to
herself a
likes to
victim a
portray
lot.
herself as the victim
Yeah,
a
she
lot.
does.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, I mean, like the Dale taking the gun away thing, like that was a long time ago.
Yeah,
like
get
I
over
just,
it.
it's like, I mean,
You've got it back.
right,
like,
right, like that was a while ago. I don't know how long you can keep milking that for like for sympathy. I mean, that was quite a while ago.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And
so no, go ahead.
I kind of like when Andrea and Lori got in a fight earlier, and Lori was like, we're trying to like make a life that we can live, and
Mhm.
you're just getting a suntan up on an RV. And she's like, I'm on the lookout for walkers, and like
It's
she
like,
thinks that like she's doing so much when she's literally just sitting on top of the RV. She called Daryl a walker, and I think
Yeah.
that's the only thing that she
That's the
spotted.
only No, I agree. It's like the whole like keeping watch thing. I mean, none of them seem to do like a very good
No.
job at it. Like they're
No.
never paying great attention to the perimeter. And B, like, yeah, the one time that something approached, she was like irresponsibly shooting at it. Yeah.
And it's not like she's doing that 24/7. Like Dale definitely does it sometimes, Glenn does it sometimes.
Yeah.
Like she could be helping in other parts when she's not up there.
Yeah, no, I agree. There, because like Andrea's like, oh, you're just putting mint in the lemonade, or she's like, oh, you're just doing like you're just like doing like less important stuff, and Lori's like, no, you're doing less important stuff.
Yeah.
And they're fighting over who's more useless, and it's like like not like with the like housekeeping and like cooking and stuff like that. Like, let's see, because I think let's see who's doing it. Patricia, Carol, and Maggie.
Yes,
I guess like
and Lori,
yeah, and it's
before
like
them.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maggie's probably not doing the most. I mean, I'm sure she's doing stuff because like farm chores and stuff. But like, it's probably like Patricia's doing like. She's probably
Patricia's
doing
probably
like
doing
50%
most of
of
it,
the
yeah.
total like work around there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and getting no appreciation for it.
Oh yeah, she's just like a minor character that we don't really care about, I guess.
Yeah.
I also think it's funny, like, when Andrea's like, what are you going to tell that little girl? That everything's going to be okay? Like, and giving example of Lori's life. She's like, that she's going to find her husband, and she's going to have her kid, she's going to have a baby, and she's going to have a boyfriend. And, like, you can totally tell that that's just complete jealousy over Shane. That
I
she's
agree.
just like,
yeah.
ugh, because she just wants Shane.
Yeah, she
And
wants Shane all to herself.
She's,
yeah.
like, jealous that Shane wants Lori.
No, totally. Yeah. It makes me wonder if Andrea had gotten pregnant at any point from Shane, like, do you think he would have? I guess he's too in love with Lori.
Yeah, I don't think he would have cared
Yeah,
if Andrea got
I guess
pregnant.
he's. I mean, who knows why he's so in love with Lori, but I guess he really wants like that
Yeah.
life. Yeah.
So at the end of the episode, when Shane and Rick and Randall are safe,
Mhm.
they're okay. Rick is like that's my wife and my kid, and you gotta listen to what I say if you want to stay with us.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I understand that they're all like following Rick so far. They've been doing what he's saying, but like no one made you like leader, Rick. No one made you king. Calm down.
Yeah, because I mean, I believe that before the apocalypse, they were of equal rank. I think they
so
were both
too.
sheriff's deputies. I don't think, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
Like,
not like
It's not like there was like some kind of pre-established. It's not
Right.
it's not like there was like any real reason why like Rick
would rank above
became
Shane.
the leader, I
Yeah.
guess, other than he just started like telling people what to do. I mean,
Pretty much.
yeah. Yeah, it's pretty much just like Rick kind of like took it upon himself.
Mhm.
Yeah. No, yeah, and like so when were the let's see, because yeah, do you want to talk about the cameras? Because at one point they were like doing
Oh,
like really
yeah.
shaky handheld
Ugh.
to like emphasize.
Oh my
I can't
gosh.
remember if that
It
was
was-
like
it
before
was-
they started fighting.
It was
Rick
like
and
when they
Shane?
were fighting.
Okay.
Like they started doing like really shaky cameras.
Yeah.
Like almost like they're trying to do like a Blair Witch like documentary
Mm-hmm.
style where it's just like an amateur holding it, and I don't like that. I don't
Yeah.
like that at all.
No, I think as the show goes on, the cinematography becomes like not quite as much as it gets later on, but like it becomes kind of flat and like it's just like very workmanlike, and it's just like,
Yeah.
okay, we'll just like shoot, it's just like we're just shooting like these two characters talking to each other, and it's just like it's very kind of flat. It's just not. It's yeah.
Right.
There's just less like variety,
Especially
less.
compared to the first season. The
Yeah.
first season was just like it was so good.
I agree.
So
I agree. And so then they're gonna drive back with Randall. Who knows what like they should
What
have
they're
just
gonna
left
do.
it like kill him or leave it. Like it's just
He seems able-bodied.
yeah. Honestly, I mean, okay, like you could cut his tongue out, cut all his fingers and toes off.
Wow.
What I'm just saying, how else are you gonna stop him from telling the gang of rapists and murderers where the farm
I
is?
mean, if you're gonna do that, you might as well just kill him.
Oh, I fully agree, but that's like for some reason Rick has a hang up about that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying there are ways around, I'm just saying there are
That's
ways
true.
around
That's
because you
true.
got to prevent him from like writing a message or
You're
anything.
right,
So
you're
cutting his
right.
tongue out is not good enough. Anyway, so then they're driving back with him, and like Shane's looking at this walker in the field
Yes.
wearing a suit who's like walking through the wheat, and like I guess he's thinking about like himself, like what his place is in the
Yeah,
world. I
yeah.
mean, it's ambiguous
because he
but
seems like really out of place. but-
yeah, like the walker, I suppose. Like where
I'm
he's
also
like, yeah.
wondering if like Shane's starting to pick up on the fact that like with the other two, how Rick was like, oh, they must have been scratched, and like that one in the suit didn't look like really disheveled.
That's possible.
I wonder if he's starting to like slightly pick up on maybe there's
That's
something more
interesting.
going on here.
Maybe. That's interesting. I think it was mostly a dramatic or like an artful like with the song playing and
Oh,
like
yeah,
and
you're right.
like with him like walking through. Oh no, I just like that's like so I mean there is still some like Let's see, is this the. I'm trying to remember whether. I feel like at this point in the show might be when they start having, like, songs towards the end of the episode.
I think you're right, and that becomes like
I don't feel
a
like they've
theme
done
through
that
through the
before.
rest of the show. I think you're right.
Yeah. Interesting.